in all this is live in studio performance is also filmed and has a cool video backdrop, all courtesy of amazing volunteers and staff here at CFRU. So if you're listening and you're in a position to pivot over to the old YouTube, you can actually watch this performance, but I promise you it'll sound beautiful on the radio too. But yeah, let's turn it over to my friend Mary McCaw.
If I knew better, I'd swear we were just the same. If I knew better, I'd swear we were meant to share surnames. If I knew better, I'd swear us meeting was a sign. But I know better, so I'll take my time. It takes time, so much time. I don't mind, it's a friend of mine. It takes time, so much time. I don't mind, it's a friend of mine. I missed out on so many things, so I ain't gonna miss with you. I ain't gonna mess with you too. I will dot each every I, I'll capital my E's, I'll cross all of my T's, make Z's of all my Z's. Oh, my heart is dead already, you can kill it if you like. I fear I felt it all before, it's like riding a bike. The tortoise always wins the race in the book that I read. I say it slow and clearly so you understand what I said. It takes time, so much time. I don't mind, it's a friend of mine. It takes time, so much time. I don't mind, it's a friend of mine. I screwed it up so many times, yes, I'm real good at it. Ask any of my exes, they will tell you about it. You know I didn't mean to hurt them so, I was just a little sad. I thought that I was mad too. It takes time, so much time. I don't mind, it's a friend of mine. It takes time, so much time. I don't mind, it's a friend of mine. That was a brand new ending.
That was amazing. What was that song called?
Time.
Oh, time. Okay. I wrote It Takes Time in the log sheet here, but I'll make a correction.
Yeah, all good.
Brand new ending. What era does that song
That is from the most recent Mary McCaw record, which I did initially put out as a C.A. Smith record. That's my real name. But I've re-released it as it was intended in the first place. It's so it's quite conceptual. It goes all over the place, and it's the second song on it, I guess. But yeah.
And when would that be?
Initially, I think that was around 2007 or 2008.
Okay, I was just trying to guess. Okay, well, let's give listeners a bit of context instead of jumping straight into history. So today we're doing a live in-studio performance, and Mary McCaw is here. Mary McCaw is the human that is you, but you have traveled to Guelph in other years between the last time you were Mary McCaw as other performing titles. So maybe do you want to give listeners a little bit of a history lesson of maybe the origin through to what Mary McCaw is today?
Sure. Well, I'm becoming an old man. So, I'm turning 50 this year, so I've been at it a while. Since I was about 17, I was in a band called Gorp, which was one of the original Sonic Onion bands. I was ceremoniously kicked out of that band, and I decided to start a band that I couldn't be kicked out of. And that's when I started the one-man band, Mary McCaw, which started off as a very small thing where it was just me and a guitar and a tambourine and a bass drum, and it turned into this monster with synthesizers and keyboards. And I did that for about 15 years, and at a certain point decided that I had kind of fallen out of love with being the one-man band, and suddenly realized that it wasn't something that I actually had to do. So I quit that, and since then, I've actually released 5 records in the last 15 years.
Okay.
But because I've been less concerned about whether anyone hears it or not, many people haven't heard it. So in that time, I did 2 projects. One was just my name, C.A. Smith, as like a singer-songwriter-y kind of project, and the other one was Mr. Smith, which Mr. Smith and the Boogers, which is like children's songs.
Yeah. Okay. I think that I've never seen the Mr. Smith, but I remember calls on Facebook for like children's voices.
Yeah.
Yeah. I remember that part. Okay.
Yeah.
And C.A. Smith was also, maybe it was like a subtitle, but the hardest working man in show business or something like that.
Yeah. Mayor McCaw was the hardest working man in show business.
Mayor McCaw was.
Business.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Not
the king of DIY, and there was like a bunch of monikers where when I first arrived to England, it's I decided to go all Oasis and kind of try to big myself up as the hardest working man in show business. And then James Brown died, and I remember it's like that kind of like ruined that joke. So it was like I'm the king of punk, and the prince of musical DIY, and there were a bunch of different names, but yeah.
Well, I also remember, I think it was, I want to say 5 or 6 years ago, that you played at the Casbah, I think.
That's right. It was 8 years ago.
8 years ago. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And that was C.A. Smith. Yes, I think. Do you remember? Were you performing as C.A. Smith?
With you?
Well, I don't remember. I remember going to the show. I actually don't remember the show. But what I remember was that I still had like even when you were, I think you were not C.A. Smith, but you still had multiple instruments that you played at the same time. Am I?
It was a Mayor McCaw reunion show.
Mayor McCaw reunion.
It's
okay.
Where basically what happened there was like I had quit Mayor McCaw, but the Mellow Grove Band from Mississauga, who are like old friends, and were doing their last show, and they offered me a plane ticket to come back and play it.
Oh.
So I thought, and I did that, and that was a great show. And then the following day, I was like, well, I've got to do Hamilton because that's where I'm from.
Okay,
and it was you and Einsoff. Is that right? Melissa Borowski's
so good.
project.
Yeah,
excellent.
Yeah, she's so cool.
Yes.
Okay, so that was that show. Okay,
yes.
We've actually I've been to so many Mayor McCaw shows and have not always played them. Like there's and some of my favorite ones, actually, I think probably my very, very favorite era was the thrift store. My dad ran the family thrift store, if people are listening and don't have context for that. It was a thrift store in downtown Guelph that was like 2,000 square feet, and we would host concerts in it. And Mayor McCaw was one of the very, very first ones. You were really early in the stretch. I think Wax Mannequin might have been the very first, or Greg McPherson. But anyways, you guys were all within like months of each other. And Stuart Duncan actually was like the show promoter, I think, initially before I started booking stuff there. But there was a show a few years in that was Mayor McCaw, Wax Mannequin, and Rag Mop playing as a triangle.
Oh,
Do you remember
that? I do remember that.
The audience sat in the middle of you.
Yeah.
And we rotated our bodies to see each person's performance.
Yeah.
And I think that goes down as my favorite like visual of a performance of yours. That was pretty special.
Well, if I may say, it's my favorite performance that I did in Guelph was actually the very first time I played with your band, the Bar Mitzvah Brothers. Because and it was it was like your dad's storage space or something like that. But I remember it, and it was funny. I was actually discussing this with someone last night. Believe it or not, it's that I remember it's because, for better or worse, when I was in shape and doing Mayor McCaw a lot, I mean musical shape, like doing it.
It's like you were ripped.
A lot, yeah. But whether it was good or bad, I didn't get intimidated very often because, for better or worse, it's Mayor McCaw is an unusual show. So that kind of carries things through. But I remember it's like opening for the Bar Mitzvah Brothers, and that being one of the only times that I'd felt very intimidated about going on after a show.
I don't think I knew this. It's funny because, these are not stories. If anyone's listening and curious how history plays out with these things, you don't play shows together and then talk about other shows you played together in this kind of a format that this kind of interview is bringing out. So I've never heard this before. No, I'm saying this is perfect for radio, and I'm humbled because I've never heard that before, is what I mean.
Well, it's
all
the truth.
these years, and that's really super special. So Bar Mitzvah Brothers was my first band, and we formed in the year 2000, April 4th, 2000, at our high school. And we were really lucky that Guelph was the kind of place that teenagers who knew nothing, not all of us. Jordy was very talented and came from a wonderful musical pedigree. And Johnny joined us, I think, on our third show or something, was also very musical. But Jillian and I learned for the first time as the Bar Mitzvah Brothers. And so, we would have had no idea how lucky we were for the types of bands we got to play with back then. I was like 16 when the band started.
Well, there was a reason, it's which is that, you guys were doing something very special, and it was just,
Well, I also, I think that there's so many bands, thousands of bands out there, but when you find your sort of kindred weirdos, like,
yes.
There's characters floating around like Wax Mannequin and Rag Mop, who played that other Guelph show. You keep them close,
Yeah.
And here we are 23 years later or something like that, 23 years.
Funny how that happens.
Pretty wild, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I'm going to let you do some more playing. Do you want to play 2 songs in this batch? Sure.
Why don't I do...
unless I'm catching you off guard.
No, not at all. It's let me just strap on my guitar, and I will play my hair songs.
Yes. I love the hair songs.
Okay.
So you're listening to CFRU 93.3 FM, and this is Mayor McCaw live in our studios.
All right. For those not watching online, that's the sound of scissors. Okay. I got a haircut. I hope it's mine. In a week or 2, it'll be just fine. 'Cause everyone knows that your hair will grow even on your baby toes. One day I got bored and I started to shave. Should've listened to myself, not misbehaved. 'Cause when you shave down there, then you'll have no hair and it gets itchy in your underwear. makes it look so old. 'Cause I got a new beard. Everybody says that it looks weird. And I keep getting told that my hair is gold and it makes my face look cold. All right. Check kilometers now for what I make. You seem like 24 hours a day. Drive so many miles it takes a little while for me to slow down the pace. Sleep a little bit to help me keep a richer straight. Rest my hand on a coffee bean. And soon stop the pots, my man, I got the heaviest $100 you've ever seen. Is made of dirt, I would I get a little older, I still look good. Hell farmer, hell farmer, hell farmer, hell farmer. As you can see, thank you for goodness, gratefully I could choose to keep growing out my hair. Every single year more grows on me as it grows all over and everywhere. Stop looking out, I've just a shin, the chocolate shaved, the bright orange hair on my face. The only place with you I want out to you is a hidden special secret place. That song help myself, me Bobby McFeely at 6:30 on there, come on. Been sold my bed so I could wait for all the awesome rock and roll. All the victories have rules and a fools I constantly say, ooh, for the people. Get it up and water for something, a little hot, don't pay, why bother have a bottle of beer? Hardly you seem tired of being king, so let's make things a quickly. They're gonna send me away. I said, go ahead and send me to hell. I don't believe in you anyway. Hell farmer, hell farmer, hell farmer, hell farmer. Woo!
All right. Was that song called Hair Farmer?
That is Hair Farmer.
All right. And what was that album from? Or was it from an album?
It was from an album. It's from QRSTU. So that was
QRSTU. Okay.
From the album, the first album I recorded in England. So that would be 2006.
Yeah, there it is. Okay, I grabbed your whole stack of CDs.
Oh, very nice.
From the CD library. And yeah, that's funny. I was trying to find another one with the word hair in the title to preemptively guess what you were going to perform. And then I was scanning through and there's like, probably 100 song titles across all of these CDs.
Sure.
But it's funny. I went on to see if you had like a Bandcamp page. It's like, oh, in case I need to play a track of music. And then I was like, CDs? We have like a massive Mary McCaw collection.
I mean, it's you know what's really funny? It's like people have started buying CDs in London again. I don't know if it's happening here, which is like really bizarre. Like I found it quite odd when people started buying cassettes again. Like there's like labels who like only release cassettes. And now, like there's like a bunch of people I know who, because records have become so expensive, it's so expensive that they've just started buying CDs again, so they have something physical.
Yeah. Oh, I love that. Yeah, I heard that from somebody. It hasn't been like, I still buy vinyl when I buy music. And honestly, I'm not one of those people that's using streaming stuff instead of buying music. I'm a person that works at a radio station.
Sure.
And so I'm immersed in music. So when I go home, I don't actually tend to put music on or podcasts on much at all. Yeah. I go see shows when I can, and then I come here and I'm lucky enough to be surrounded by music. And so, I have heard that though, that CDs are kind of like the equivalent young person sort of easy to get. And yeah.
I mean, it's funny that you mentioned that about the working at a radio station and stuff like that, because my dad, when I was growing up, worked at a radio station as well, several radio stations, but he worked at a top 40 radio station. You know what that means? It's like, top 40 radio doesn't really exist anymore. And he ended up like, not listening to music as well. It's like, and I asked him to like kind of unbox that one time. And he was like, okay, well, for example, if if you're at a top 40 station, you have to play the top 10 singles every hour.
Yeah.
So it's a 4 or 5 hour shift. And if the song Shut Up You Face, which I don't know if you've ever heard that song. It's What's the Matter You? It's a novelty song. It's terrible, whatever. But if that's in the top 10 and it's on the top 10 for 3 months, it means that you are listening to Shut Up You Face 5 times a day, 5 times a week for 3 months. And it gets, he got very
I actually, this is a really sweet topic for people listening who are fans of CFRU, because I'm the volunteer coordinator here, so I lead our orientation sessions, and one of the slides I have is discussing the difference between commercial radio, public radio, and campus and community radio. And one of the distinctions we mention is that we don't do the top 40 kind of thing, but we unpack it. We're like, it's not about being like hipster or too cool for hits. It's the idea that if you're listening to the radio and you're scrolling between channels, some songs are going to be on like 5 different channels that day, within minutes of each other for the exact thing you're describing. And we just don't want to be another channel that's doing that. So that's the whole goal. But I never get sick of music working at CFRU, because that doesn't happen. It's like if something is charting, it's my buddy probably, and someone that I'm delighted to hear at like 3 different shows over the course of the week or something. And so, we actually have had folks go to school for broadcasting who are probably like aspiring people to work at commercial stations and paid radio gigs, but they come volunteer here for the same reason, because it's like refreshing to not have to pick from 200 songs is what I was told once by somebody who was coming over from commercial radio. Right. They had a block of 200 songs at any given time. That's all they could choose from. And that's not very much. You start to realize, like you said, 5-hour radio shift, not a lot of songs.
My dad's day, it was 40 songs to choose from.
Wild,
40, usually 3-minute songs.
Yeah.
But there you go.
Okay, a question I have for you. So listeners, we're listening, if you're listening right now, this is Mary McCaw live on CFRU. He is playing a show tonight, which I also want to give a shout out to. So Mary McCaw is playing at Sonic Hall with Hellion Tun and Harry Lee Fallon, which I think is also Uncle Harry and the Kickstands is Harry's other band, if you're trying to pinpoint why you know that name. So the Sonic Hall is the venue in downtown Guelph that is on the 2nd floor on the corner of Macdonnell and Wyndham Street, the corner across from the Mexican food restaurant. Anyways, Sonic Hall, you go up a stairwell that's on Wyndham Street, and it's a venue that started up from the Sonic Onion folks in Hamilton, which I imagine is the tie to you playing there tonight.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. I wanted listeners to know about that show. It'll be music at 8, and Mary McCaw will be on at 9, but Nick Holes, Hellion Tun will be on at 8, so just show up at the beginning if you want to go. Do you know how much it is to go to the show?
I don't.
I don't know either. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, we'll find out some point in the mix, or you'll find out by going to the door and checking it out.
I can't imagine it's going to be too extravagant.
No, I hope not. But also shows are kind of like a precious thing because, like with every other stream of income by musicians being jeopardized by life, the show is kind of the last real kind of thing that you can go and immerse yourself in that can't be reproduced, that you're always having a moment that is only yours. And
you never know who you're going to see either. It's like, the amount of shows that I've gone to, and like, some band that becomes a really famous band, and they're playing to like 10 people.
Yeah.
And those are very special, and of course you get bragging rights. If it does happen.
I told my dad, because he's an old fan from the thrift store days. I told our friend Jillian, early bar mitzvah brother Jillian. I told Clayton, who when I met him was already a super fan. And there's actually a funny story. Scott, who's in the other room doing the mix for this performance, who's my partner. One of his first interaction with Clayton was Clayton bringing a bunch of CDs to The Beat Goes On, which is like a local show. There's actually 2 different Mayor McCaw stories for Scott at The Beat Goes On, but one of them was Clayton bringing this stack of CDs because I think he was like moving away one of his times that he moved off and had to get rid of all his belongings. But there was a stack of Mayor McCaw and other people that then Scott personally bought and became our collection. So I had like a couple Mayor McCaw CDs, but we ended up with more because Clayton was like reluctantly selling them. But then when Scott and I got together, however many years later, they came back into our home. But that was like one of the, Clayton was a super fan. So I texted him to give him all the show details. And then the other one is Mayor McCaw Guy. We always called him Mayor McCaw Guy. I know now that his name is Jamie, and he actually has a punk rock radio show here on CFRU.
Excellent.
And he's a pizza cook. So I don't know if he'll have to work tonight, but I made sure to email him as well, because I was like, Mayor McCaw Guy will want to know that Mayor McCaw is here tonight.
He had I like made some Mayor McCaw t-shirts one time where it was like, I spent an afternoon like painting, like instead of screen printing, like using marker and like actual paint to do some Mayor McCaw t-shirts. And like, I showed up, and I think maybe I gave him a shirt, and that just like blew his mind. And it's like he was at every show.
Show.
And you mentioned Clayton. It's funny. Clayton is like, in my mind anyway, it's like in the Mayor McCaw lexicon, if you will, has been immortalized in one of my songs. There's Hooray for Beer.
Hooray for beer.
Which the line is, I'd have a good time, pass out and have nice dreams in the snow. And that was like a story from Clayton.
No, I love that.
Passing out in the snow and waking up.
I love that.
Very cold.
Well, in terms of Small World, his partner is our music director right now.
Oh,
isn't
excellent.
that fun? Yeah.
Very fun.
Yeah, we love Clayton. And the Mayor McCaw Guy got we coined that name because whenever we set up shows at the thrift store, he'd come like a full hour or two early. There'd be like still the store doing store things, and he'd be there waiting for it to turn into show mode, which was like such dedication.
It's I really appreciate that sort of thing, because it's it's as you mentioned, it's when one is a musician, they tend not to, there's not a lot of fiscal rewards. And so for me anyway, it's those rewards of someone who's like really, really into what you do. And it's like, I saw someone last night in Toronto who was like, mentioned that one of my songs was his wedding song, which is just like mind-blowing to me.
That's awesome.
Like, it's such an honor to like kind of be someone in someone's life in such an important way, and also like very simply just to be remembered. I guess it's that I find it might be a bit vain, but I appreciate it.
Okay, I think that it also ties to it's like a legacy thing, because you're older than me, but I'm also not young in the scheme of performers these days. That's not a slight, that's just like I've been doing it for a long time kind of thing, right? Sure. And so one of the most like wonderful kind of realizations was that age comes with history. Like if you're still doing it at a certain point, there's just an inevitability that over those years you've been so many places and your music has gone so many places. So I'm sure it's more significant if you were like a performer that had a farther reach or performed more places or maybe had like top hits or whatever in some ways. But when you're kind of like a cult following style, maybe like underground indie artist, and you're still doing it 20, 30, 40 years later, whatever it is, there's more of those little moments and they mean more. They're kind of like their reminder of like, and there's no way somebody who's like 15 or 16 right now has those yet. You know what I mean?
Yes.
So they have their youth, but they don't get the like stories yet. And that's like...
And also like, you know, in regards to like what you're talking about like, you know, being like kind of a cult or underground, I mean, I always love, you know, like I've met like, you know, honest goodness, like rock stars, like, you know, like people who are actual rock stars.
Oh yeah, I used to tour with like Finger 11 and stuff.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
It's but I'll run into people. It's like the one that always like kind of surprises me is you know, Billy Talent, who's like, you know, like a big band and stuff. And when they see me, they get so excited because I was the singer in Gorp.
Oh, that's
I was
amazing.
I was the singer in Gorp, which is something I did as a teenager. And but because, you know, when you're one of these like kind of cult artists or whatever, it's like, and you go to these places that like no one else does. You know, it's in their case, it was like Streetsville. I had a regular gig in a place in a town called Streetsville, or like Welland. You know, like, you know, places where like, you know, people don't really get shows, and it's like you're just, back then anyway, you were just a band that had an album. It's, as far as they were concerned, I was the rock star.
Well, I love that. Yeah.
That's hilarious to me.
It is really funny. And the other thing I think about being that kind of like unplaceable, like where do you put this guy on a bill is the reality is lots of different places. When you're like not like anybody, then you are on an amazing like emo show at like a bar downtown that fits like 1,500 people, and you're also at the thrift store literally next door at a different gig on a different night, you know, and like, I
played in 1 week in London. In 1 week, I played 2 shows in the same neighborhood, this place called Shepherd's Bush, which I think there's actually where the Sex Pistols come from.
Okay.
But I played 2 shows in Shepherd's Bush. One was at Shepherd's Bush Empire, which is like, you know, a massive venue, opening for Feist. So it was like, you know, like so it's like, you know, like 3,000 to 5,000 people or whatever, you know, sold out shows. And then 3 days later, I played this place called the Ginglick, which used to be a public toilet that they turned into an art bar / venue to 20 people.
It's so good.
It's just that, like, you know, like I just think of like so many different examples, or like, you know, like going from playing with like Nick Oliveri in Queens of the Stone Age, and then 2 days later playing with Amy Millan, who's like, you know, like from Stars, who was doing like a country album.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, you know, so going from like metal, opening to it for a metal band to a country band. And it is very special when you know, you don't, you know, when you don't fit in somewhere. It's it's some of the acts that I've been able to open for over the years are like, I mean, I could go on, but I won't. But it's pretty special to me that it's like, oh, I've opened for this crazy person and that crazy person.
Yeah. Well, for Guelph listeners, a sort of opposites. The Family Thrift Store, only people who were around up until 2008 or as long ago as 2008 would have seen the Family Thrift Store. Shortly after that building got torn down, and it's a parking lot now. But if you know Cowboy Bar was Mayor McCaw opening for Finger 11. And so if you know Cowboy Bar, I think it is about 1,500 people, maybe 2,000-ish. I saw like Rufus Wainwright there one time. Like that was kind of our biggest like concert hall, honestly, at like for that era. And then my dad's thrift store is literally like 2
next
doors
door.
away.
I do remember that. It's like, I mean, you know, I don't know if it's irony or like, you know, I don't know what you call that, but it, I mean, it's like, you know, I remember I would have been at the thrift store weeks or like a month later.
Yeah, for sure. Like not far apart. This is not like then you blew up into Cowboy Bar. You were back at the thrift store at another occasion, and an attic in Guelph.
Sure.
You know, and lots of these kinds of. Yeah.
I mean, it's funny, thinking too, because like those opening slots, it's like although they're great, and that Finger 11 tour that I did was like an amazing experience and stuff like that. But it often doesn't mean that I get a lot of people coming out to the thrift store next time, unfortunately.
Yeah, it's funny how it doesn't always go both ways. Yeah,
exactly.
Well, do you want to play some more music?
Sure.
I feel like I don't want to prevent listeners from getting to hear some. I will also remind people, though, as I mentioned, Sonic Hall tonight in downtown Guelph on Wyndham Street. Mayor McCaw is performing with Hellion Tunn and Harry Lee Fallon. So if you're enjoying today's performance, I strongly recommend you go out. It will be music at 8 p.m. But yeah, I'll turn it back over to you to play some more songs.
Should I do a heavy one and how many should I do? Should I do 2?
You want to do 2 or 3 or 2 or 3? I don't. Yeah, 2.
Sounds good.
2. I don't know. Okay.
I'll do 2 rock and roll ones. So
nice.
Still going. A little cultural appropriation for everyone. The holes in my pants ain't a fashion statement, and the horseshoes give me the blues. They're making my feet wet to everything I have. Can't fit in a bag, now I can't find it. The bag is gone, lost it. Well, I got drunk one time, no rent to pay. Wouldn't have it anyway. Ain't the only one without a home. Technically do not live alone. The life I live has been privileged. A shirt in the back and the roof of me, and food was in my tummy. Don't give up. Just give it up. Don't give up. Just give it up. Wrote songs before about being poor. 1, 2, this 1 or 3 for sure. The next one will be number 4. Keep leaving town. I cannot be found. I took off, I disappeared. There are no collectors ringing here. The funds I owe are a bit of a joke. Did not go to university. If you did, then you owe more money than me. The price you pay for education today made me not want to go at all. I started playing rock and roll. Don't give up. Just give it up. 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 Off than me, look out my own front door to see the people who are struggling too. They seem to have given up long ago. I can only blame them for that though, cause life is tough for most of us. I feel like giving up all the time, but I ain't stopping till my mind goes come on and be strong. I will do it if you do it too. I cannot do it for you. Don't give up. Just give it up. Give it up. one thing for me. Sip a cup of tea, sip a cup of coffee. Shaming on his work, 'cause get up and do. Everybody's the same, everybody goes through. I'll work on every job so I can work up my passion. Therefore I must love as of no type of fashion. Excuse me. Just one thing for me. Sip a cup of tea, sip a cup of coffee. Older than an average, 29 years old. May as well say 30, it's the same I've been told. Do what I gotta do until I'm 60 or older. Go down like a full-time soldier. Come on. Just one thing for me. Sip a cup of tea, sip a cup of coffee.
All right. That was Mayor McCaw live on CFRU. That is Mayor McCaw live on CFRU. He's still here. Hey, I think I got it. I think that was Sip a Cup of Coffee.
That was.
Yeah. And then prior to that was DGU.
That's right.
Hey, I did it. I have all of your CDs laid out here, and it's a game for me to try to guess song titles, 'cause that's never been a strength of mine. But.
No, all good.
Okay. I want to know something. Okay, actually, I'm going to over-promote your show tonight because people could tune in at any time. Sonic Hall, I got the actual address. It's 12 Wyndham Street North. It's roughly the corner of Wyndham and Macdonell. For those of you here in Guelph, it would be the northwest side of the street, but the entrance is actually kind of right next to Envy. There's a stairwell because it's on the second floor. It is accessible, though. I believe that if you need the accessible entrance, there's a different way to get in, so it might be best to contact Sonic Hall if you need the accessible entrance. But it does exist. And doors at 7, music at 8. It says $20 in advance when I Googled. I don't know if it'll be different at the door, but well worth supporting 2 local acts, Harry Lee Fallon and Hellion Tunn, and our beloved Mayor McCaw over from England. And he traveled from England. So if you're wondering about $20 of your Canadian money versus what it takes to travel from England to do a tour, well worth it. I have a question for you, Mayor McCaw.
Sure.
Why? Oh, and also to my volunteers in the production studio over there, there's still a reverb on CA's voice.
Echo.
Yeah. But it's kind of fun. But okay, a question. Why did you reunite with yourself, and when?
Okay, well, I didn't. I mean, as I said, I fell kind of out of love with being the one-man band, and I did a whole series of blogs about it about 2 years ago, just about my time as the one-man band. But I ended up I had a situation where I fell out of love with the band because, like as you were mentioning, it's it costs $1 million to be a musician. The rewards. Occasionally you get, paid quite well, but those gigs are really far and few between. And I wasn't enjoying it anymore. Like I really wasn't enjoying it anymore, and I felt a little bit stuck. And it took a friend of mine saying, hey, actually you don't have to do this. You don't have to carry on doing the one-man band, because I just thought, okay, well, I'm going to do it forever. And then I had 15 years off. Well, not quite 15 years, I think 13 years, 13 or 14. And in that time, I started really missing physically doing the one-man band. So because it's not something that everybody can do. And it's also it's not something everybody can do, and it takes certain like kind of muscle memory and stuff like that. And physically doing it is something that I really miss. And because also it's like, at the risk of being vain again, because like, nobody does it like I do it. Really. I wanted to start doing that to feel like, I don't know, like pride maybe, which I'm not too into pride, but it's just the way that I feel. So I was like, okay, well, I mean, the good thing now is like, I've got a regular job in England now. I mean, it's like I haven't stopped playing music, and but I've got a regular job and a family, and so like, my life is set up now. And so what that means for Mayor Macaw is that if I come back here and do these string of shows, these three shows that I'm doing this week, there's nothing really at stake for me. So it's like, because back when I was, as I was saying before, like kind of in shape as the one-man band, it was always like, oh, if I don't impress this person, then I'm not going to get this gig. And if I don't get this gig, then I'm not, like, things aren't going to happen. And I mean, I followed that path, and I actually achieved a lot of what I intended to achieve. And I mean, the irony is that when I did achieve those things, all my problems weren't solved.
Yeah.
It was like, I had this great moment where it was like, playing to like 3,000 people, sold out show, opening for an act that I really love, going up to my dressing room and like feeling like more depressed than I ever have been in my life.
Wow.
And, because it's like, I achieved this goal and I still wasn't happy.
Oh my goodness. Yeah.
So I took a step back, but now, I want to do it again for fun, which is always like, which is what it was supposed to be in the first place. But it just ended up being something that I didn't intend for it to be.
Oh, I love that. So how recent is the reunion, so to speak?
I did my first show back last night.
My gosh, really? Like, this is it? Wow.
Yeah.
Oh,
So
it feels like such an honor.
Oh gosh,
Yeah.
well, that's it's good to be here. But it was like, definitely like, opening night jitters and stuff
Of course.
last night, because it's not the type of gig, for those who are listening, if they heard the song, it's like I was playing all of those instruments at once. So it's like, it's not something, and people when they watch me have always tended to think like I'm a Forrest Gump type character, where it's like I just picked up these instruments and knew how to play them, where in fact it's like I work really, really hard.
It's so hard work. Yeah.
In practice, and like I said, I'm not a young guy, so but I did the show last night and it went well enough that I felt good about it, and it feels great that I can still do it.
For sure. What I really love, I got to know if this is true of you. Did you find that even if, it had been years since you'd played in that format, did it come back? You know what I mean? Like was there just like a deep in you kind of knowledge that resurfaced that surprised you?
It is a bit of a riding a bike situation, but like just way more complex.
Yeah.
It's like riding like 4 bikes at once.
Yeah. Well, what's really special about this story to me, so I, similarly as Jenny Omnichord, I didn't break up with Jenny Omnichord, but I stopped at about 2013. My first show as Jenny Omnichord was in 2003. And in 2013, I put out an album of kind of like B-sides and rare recordings. And then I switched to being Bird City. And I didn't play as Jenny Omnichord again, other than, I'm trying to think if I had any gigs, but roughly 10 years after that, or maybe more like 12, like a year ago, I think, or so, I played again as Jenny Omnichord. And it was the first time that I got to be both, not at the same show, but like Bird City. I always thought that I had to choose. It's such a funny thing to think, but I'm like, they can't find out. It's the same person. It was one or the other. And there's the first time that I felt like whole. It's like, I can actually be Bird City and I can be Jenny Omnichord. But I found that regardless, I did have to practice, of course, but there were these like deep in me memories of how the songs went, that it felt like a weird kind of euphoria. Because I think I never had enough time off of it in the past to realize I had gotten so much better at playing, because the songs got more challenging. So it's like they were always this steep of like going to shows and being like, ah. And then, it was really special to come back with like a history and a back catalog. I get to be this project again, and I don't have to write any new songs. There's so many.
I mean, you could be like Stevie Wonder. It's that where he doesn't. Stevie Wonder doesn't have to write any new songs. Like he's got a back catalog, and it's like he just can play the rest of his life playing the hits.
Yeah.
And
I did write a couple. Are you going to write new songs? Do you think that they're just excited again to?
It's I've got a few kind of projects that I have to complete, because this was another thing about starting to do Mayor Macaw again, is that because I'm almost 50, it's like everybody's parents start dying, and then my friends have started dying young. So in particular there was Nick Cordero, who was the Broadway actor who got COVID early on. It's like he was a very good friend of mine, and Tony from Shallow, North Dakota, and it's like a few people like this, and I'm no stranger to that sort of loss, but it was just when those losses do happen, when someone dies, it always kind of lights a bit of a fire under my butt that life's short. I know it's a cliche, but it is a cliche for a reason, and there are a few projects that I wanted to complete, that I need to complete, that are Mayor Macaw projects.
All right.
So one is re-recording some songs from my first 3 records. Okay. And because no one's going to understand this, but I had an album, LMNOP, QRSTU, WXYZ, and this new album of new old recordings will be A2K, so it'll be a complete alphabet. Oh yeah, I always wondered about A to K. I never. Well, it's so there's that project, and then also there's a musical that I wrote called "Joy to the World," which I spoke to you about singing. Okay, that's what that would be. Okay. Which is the idea is that it's a graphic novel, which the drawings are like done. Practically, there's a few edits that we have to do. Did you draw it? No, I did the storyboards, but I got a friend who is just much better at drawing and quicker at drawing than I am. That's wicked, though. Yeah. So he finished them. So the idea is that you buy the graphic novel, and then you go on. You either put on a record or a CD, or go on your favorite platform, and you can read the graphic novel along with the music. Oh, that's awesome. So that's like a really big project. Yeah. It's like, I think it's like, like 40 different like movements from like 20 different songs or something like that. And so it's, I've never done things an easy way. So it's like, so those 2 projects, in order for me to, like, if I release Joy to the World, that's what this graphic novel is called. If I released it as a Mayor Macaw project, it's really nobody's going to hear it unless I start playing again. No, fair. Yeah. That's smart. And, that's a good preemptive thing to consider. Like if I start to play again, then it's like there's, it's something to talk about. Yeah. Well, we're at the 4:55 mark. So what I'm going to suggest is, do you have a final song you could go out on? Yeah. Okay. While you're picking that, can you share with listeners the best way to follow
the Mayor McCaw journey. So for those of you, folks listening who are excited that Mayor McCaw has returned, a reminder tonight he's playing at Sonic Hall. His set is at 9. Music starts at 8. Sonic Hall is at 12 Wyndham Street North. But how can people follow or find Mayor McCaw if they want to check you out?
Well, I'll be at the show tonight.
If they want to literally follow you.
Yeah, exactly. The fun can never end by taking me home with you. All the regular places. So I'm on Bandcamp if you wish to support in that way. That's a really great way to support. And Spotify, Apple Music, all of those platforms have my stuff, and Instagram, all that. Instagram, Facebook, all those platforms except TikTok, which I'm terrified of.
No worries. Yeah.
Which ironically is the platform that I should be doing this on.
No, don't worry about it.
But I'm terrified of it, so I haven't done that.
And are you Mayor McCaw?
Mayor McCaw, all one word. That's MAYOR MCCA.
All right. Well, I'll let you finish today's set with a final song. And Mayor McCaw, thank you so much. I'm so glad that we are so early on your reunion journey. It's quite the honor, and I'm really excited for your show tonight.
I am super stoked to be here, and it's great to have a lovely conversation with an old friend in front of how many people listen to this at once? Let's pretend it's thousands in front of thousands. Well,
that's the thing. It's on our YouTube channel, and people can watch it whenever they want after this.
So my son can watch this.
Yes, definitely.
It's, he'll see the times where I messed up too. But that's the thing about a one-man band.
That's how you know you're really doing it.
Yeah. All right. Here goes. Yeah. Thanks, Jenny.
Thank you.
One. Hey. This is called Drink a Lot of Water. Brush your teeth 3 times a day. Make sure you floss them too. Say the things you want to say. Do what you do. Always walk an hour or so. Make sure to stretch your limbs. Love your friends and tell your foes they are forgiven. Treat all your children the same, whether it's a son or a daughter. And the most important thing other than breathing is to drink a lot of water. Drink a lot of water. Always change your underpants. If you're tired, then take a snooze. Sing your song and dance your dance when you feel you have to. Sleep for at least 5 hours a day if you can't fit in 3 more. Always go where you wanna go, but please don't slam the door. Look before you cross the street, and polite when you cross your borders. And the most important thing other than breathing is to drink a lot of water. 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 Tell your folks that you love them, even if they know. Tell your kids you love them too. It'll help them grow. Eat 3 square meals a day to start your day off right. Get some sunshine when it stays, and turn off your light at night. Always say please and thank you, anywhere, anytime you order. And the most important thing other than breathing is to drink a lot of water. 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 Drink a lot of water.
All right, we're going to go back over to our regular scheduled programming. Thank you, Mayor McCaw. Once again, he's live tonight at Sonic Hall, downtown Guelph.
Hey, this is Michael Rowe, and you're listening to CFRU